So good afternoon all of you and welcome back to Excelsior Academy. Again in this session we are going to do certain mole bio as well as biochemistry numericals. So first question is, what is the number of hydrogen bonds in a double helical bDNA structure of 100 base pairs with 20 adenine and 10 thymines in one of the two strands? So this time I have kept the option also, so it becomes easy for you guys. So just that how you're going to do, what is the first step you're going to do? Huh. Okay, so what is the first step? So what is the first step you're going to do in this? They have asked the hydrogen bonds. Yes, anyone, Mahima? So what do you think, what should be the first step over here?
100 by 10.
100 by 10, why? So it is given that they're asking hydrogen bonds we don't know. Then it is given 100 base pairs, 20 adenine and 10 thymine. Now tell me what should be done in order to get the total number of hydrogen bonds. Yes, Pallavi, any idea?
Yes, ma'am. We have to do 20 into 2.
Okay, 20 into 2.
But here adenine and thymine are not same, no, ma'am. They should be equal.
So what should be done? Read the question properly. What is the question over here? So these are the given items, right? This is being asked, this is given in the question, correct? Now, the question says that 20 adenine, 10 thymines in one of the two strands. So if this is my DNA, so suppose this strand is having 20 adenine and 10 thymine. Now tell me how to do.
The other strand
Pratima, what about you? See, this is what I was saying, you need more practice over here. It is given that in one of the strands 20 adenine and 10 thymine is there. So what does it mean? In one of the strands, it is having total 30 80, correct? And remaining 70 GC. Now can you calculate the total number of hydrogen bonds? So what will be the number then? So 30 into 2, 60. 70 into
70 into 3.
210. So total hydrogen bonds becomes 270. So your option C is the correct answer. So what I have given today was the most simplest one. Initially I have taken more difficult ones. Okay. So that's why I'm telling, please read the question properly. When they have said that it is present in one of the two strands means what? You can consider that in one strand it is having both 20 adenine and 10 thymine. In the opposite, you will have 20 thymine and 10 adenine. Okay. So it is not necessary that on the same strand you will have adenine equal to thymine. In one strand, you can have any number of adenine, any number of thymine. It is just that the opposite strand should have the same number of the complementary base pairs. Okay. Let's move on to the next. Now, multiple RNA polymerase transcribes a DNA template, unwinding about 1.5 turns of DNA template per transcription bubble. From the structural information of classical bDNA, how many transcription bubble is possible for a 180 base pair DNA molecule? Now, this is very important, very interesting question also. Please try to do it.
1.5 turn equal to 15 base pair.
Okay, one turn you are saying is 10 base pair. Okay, so 1.5 turn means 15 base pair, right? Because 1.5 into 10 is
base pair.
15 base pair. Then yes, you're going correct.
Base pair, को डिवाइड किए 15 से.
So 180 base pair will be 180 by 15, right?
180 base pair divided
180 base pair divided by so correct. You are going to get around 12. Is it clear to everyone else? See,
Yes, ma'am.
it's written right about the bDNA they said. So you can take. So 1 turn means around 10 base pairs are there. So 1.5 turns means what? How many? 15. Why? Because 1.5 into 10. So when these many base pairs are there, so how many bubbles will be there? So the answer is 180 by 15. So you will get 12. So the correct answer is A. Very good, Ranjan. Okay, next question. What is the maximum number of proteins of size 333 or more amino acids that can be coded by a double-stranded 1000 base pair long DNA? So what are given? They're asking amino acid. They're asking, sorry, protein of around 333 amino acid they're asking, right? And how many base pairs are there? 1000 base pairs are there. So what is the maximum number of proteins of size 333 amino acid can be done? So how you are going to do this question? Is the question clear? This comes under actually biochemistry. So how many proteins will be present if the protein molecular size is around 333 amino acid and the coding region has got 1000 base pair? So we already know that how many base pair is going to give you one amino acid? 3 nucleotide is going to
E.
one amino acid. Agree?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Right? So 3 nucleotide means one amino acid because in mRNA, suppose we say AUG is there. So 1, 2, 3 nucleotide is going to code for one methionine.
Yes, yes.
Right? That's why we say 3 nucleotide means one amino acid. Now it is 1000 base pair. So 1000 base pair means how many amino acids will be there? So number of amino acid is equal to 1000 base pair divided by what number should come over here? By 3, right? So how much
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
get? I'm gonna get 333.33, right? So from this, what do you understand? What will be the answer? So using 1000 base pair, how many proteins can you make of having 333 amino acid? So given the options, what will be the correct answer then? I think it's not clear to anyone. See, this is clear that in mRNA, 3 codons is going to code for one amino acid, right? This is clear. For example, AUG is going to give you methionine. This is clear to everyone, right? This much. Now, what is the maximum number of proteins? They're asking number of proteins where each protein is going to have 333 amino acid. Okay. Now, the gene which is coding for this is having 1000 base pair. And I know that 3 base pair is going to give me one amino acid. So, number of amino acid coded by 1000 base pair is going to be 1000 base pair divided by 3 base pair. So I'm going to get 333.33, right? Now you tell me what is the correct option over here. So how many proteins having these many amino acids can be coded by the 1000 base pair? So how many proteins you're getting?
1.
Very good. It is 1. Okay. Good. If suppose the option, if suppose in the answer you're getting around 666, then you would have said 2. If it is 999, then you would have said 3. Okay.
3. Yes.
Multiples of 3 you will say over here. Okay. Now it is clear. The answer is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good. See, that's why I'm saying you need to practice a lot. Even the given questions, like already what we have already solved, also you can practice. Then only you will come to know. Next. So these are the few questions which Ranjan has shared with me. So I'm solving over here. So the secondary structure topology diagram of 400 amino acid long protein X. So what they're saying is that this is a protein from N terminal to C terminal called protein X. It is depicted in the figure. The start and end amino acid residues numbers of each alpha helix are marked. That is this. So this we know that in proteins we have got alpha helix and beta sheets as secondary structures. Okay. They are the secondary structures. Now the percentage that is correct to integer number of residues forming alpha helix. So what is the total number of amino acids over here, Ranjan? 400, right? It is given here also, and in the figure also they have shown that from 1, starting from N terminal 1, you have got till 400 amino acid till C terminal. Okay. So this is the total. What they're asking is percentage of alpha helix. Correct. Now, how you can get this number? It's very simple. 21 to 70 is how many amino acids? Simple maths. 21 to 70, how many amino acids are there?
50.
It is 50 plus 225 to 249.
24.
See, you have done the subtraction. In subtraction, this value goes, right? See, this is what? In 249, 225, you got 24. But in this case, you need to consider this value also. This amino acid also, it is present. Normally in maths, what happens is 249 minus 225 means this number is also eliminated. But here you need to consider this value, okay? Because this amino acid is also present. So 24 plus 1, you will get how much? 25. So 25 amino acids. If you calculate from 25 to 249, you will see that there are 25 amino acids. Is it clear? Similarly here also, right? 70 minus 21 will give you 49, but you need to consider this number also because that amino acid is also present in the alpha helix. So that becomes 1. So 49 plus 1, 50 amino acids, here 25 amino acids. Similarly over here, 322, 324. If you subtract directly, you will get only 4, but the answer is 320, 320.
Ma'am, can't hear your voice.
323, 324. So you will have 5. Okay, so this is clear to everyone? How we are getting 50, 25 and 5? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here you got 50 amino acids, here 25 and here it is 5. Right? Now what the question is asking, what is the percentage of alpha helix? So then what you are going to do? 50 plus 25 plus 5 is how much? 80.
80, ma'am.
So how you calculate 80? 80 upon total into 100. So how much you are getting? 20. So what is the answer? 20%. See, it was simple, right? But if you see the question like this, you might panic. But the answer is very simple. Just calculate the number of amino acids present in the alpha helix, divide by the total number of amino acids into 100. So you will get the percentage of alpha helix. Is it clear to everyone now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now next question. So calculate the free energy change of the reaction catalyzed by the enzyme phosphoglucomutase. So this enzyme, where do we see? In the case of glycolysis, right? So glucose 1-phosphate, glucose 6-phosphate, starting with 20 millimolar glucose 1-phosphate and no glucose 6-phosphate. This is the initial reaction. The final equilibrium mixture at 25 degrees Celsius and pH 7 contains 1 millimolar of glucose 1-phosphate and 90 millimolar of glucose 6-phosphate. Okay. So now what is happening? What you have to do over here? What is the formula you can use? This is directly asking the free energy change. So what is the formula over here? Delta G is equal to minus 2.303
303
RT.
RT ln what?
ln T
Final by initial.
by initial.
So just put the values into the formula. You will get the answer. So what is the answer? Minus 2.03. What is the value of RT? You can by heart. Okay, this is
8.314 is R.
So and it is given 25. So whenever 25 is given, your RT value is always 2.48. You can just by heart this thing. Okay, then it is not ln, it is log. If you're using 2.303, then it is log. If this value is not there, then it is ln.
It's not there, ln. Yes, ma'am.
So log by. So what is the final volume over here? What is the final?
19.
19 millimolar.
Is it 19? Yes, think. That is very crucial.
Final is 1.0.
See, we are actually checking either you can say with respect to glucose 1-phosphate and glucose 6-phosphate, right? So what is the final volume you're getting over here? It's around 19. Right? 19 millimolar glucose 6-phosphate. Oh, there is a mistake.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
There is a mistake actually.
Here.
One sec. If it is minus, then it has to be the what? Reactants by products. If there is no minus, then it is products by reactant. Are you getting the point over here? Now, if I use this thing, if I want to remove the minus, then it will become product by reactant. Okay. So I remove the minus over here. So 2.303 RT value is 2.48 and log reactant by product. So what is the reactant given? Sorry, product by reactant because I have removed the minus. So what is the product over here? Log 19. What is the initial form? What is the initial? 1, right? 1 is given.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you need to calculate the value of log 19. Now, the thing is, I'll tell you the shortcut over here. You just need to remember the value of log 2 whenever such question comes. So what is the value of log 2 over here? It is 0.301. Okay. Now, yes. I'll give you the shortcut. Log 19 is near about log 20. Can I write like that? It is approximately near to log 20. Right? So I know that log 2 is 0.301. So how much will be log 20? Guys, do you know logarithms? No problem. I'll give you the shortcut over here. See. So you know the formula now. So we have the value as 2.303 into 2.48 into log 19. Okay. So I told you to remember the value of log 2. So log 2 is 0.301. And I know that log 19 is near about log 20. So log 20 means this can be written as log 2 into 10, right? What is log 10? How much is the value of log 10?
1.
Very good. So you in logarithms, log 2 into 10 can be written as log 2 plus log 10. Correct? In the
yes.
Then this can be written as log 2 plus 1. And I know what is the value of log 2. So this becomes 1.303. Yeah. So now I have the value of log 19 approx. So I'll solve. So now what you have to do is just multiply these numbers. Some value 7.3 you will get. Now tell me, is it clear to everyone how to do,
Yes.
Ranjan? Simple, just remember the
Yes, ma'am.
formula and just put the values. So what was the formula over here? Delta G equals to minus RT
minus 2.
Huh. Anything, even that is correct. Sorry, log log
Reactants by products.
Yes, and over here, or you can have equilibrium constant also. Okay. Now tell me, it is clear to everyone?
Yes,
To
ma'am.
solve numericals, right? So likewise, how Ranjan has shared the questions, you guys also can share so that we can do. So both mole bio related and biochemistry or whatever it is, whatever numericals you get, let us get and share with everyone and we'll solve it like this. Okay. Yes. So thank you for listening. I hope you like the video. So please share and subscribe and share with your friend circle also. So let's study together for the upcoming exams. Any comments and suggestions are also appreciated, and any queries are there will be solved quickly. You can also write to us on Excelsior Academy 1228@gmail.com. Keep watching, keep excelling with us. Thank you.